Hi students, welcome to Career 360. You already heard of the NEET scandal. You already heard of how it's being rigged, scammed, paper leak. There were so many things that are coming up. So we thought we are going to dive deeper into how the exams in India are actually rigged. Today we are going to dive deep into the shocking world of the exam rigging. This isn't just an academic scandal. It's a direct assault on the dreams and hard work of countless Indians. Today, we expose the dirty tricks and hidden agendas that are sabotaging your future. Prepare to be outraged, because what we're about to reveal will shake your faith in the system. This is beyond the paper leak, as I said. It's about a system. It's about a mafia that operates the system. It's about greedy parents. It's about colluding faculty members. But it's also about millions of students, their dreams and their aspirations. Please listen to Dr. Ajay Kumar, who was earlier the president of Indian Medical Association, member in NMC, which is National Medical Council, and also he was in charge for a lot of time for the National Board of Examinations that used to conduct the NEET PG examination. He was talking about a particular thing where they found a collusion within their own system with outside forces to compromise the examination. Please listen into him.
As the member of the National Board of Examination, 7 years ago, we took over, and that time NEET PG examinations, whenever it was held, there were at least 50, 60 cases in the court that the question has leaked. And it was a big thing. When we took over, we tried to find out what is the problem. Number one problem was there was one person in charge in the National Board who was hand in glove with all these unscrupulous people.
So let me take you back to an examination that was conducted for which a lot of information has come out only in 2022. This was for the JEE Main 2021 examinations for which most students appear to get into NITs and later IITs, right? There was a gang which was operating in India with hackers sitting outside of India. The outside hacker's name was Michael Shergan. He's a Russian national operating from Kyrgyzstan, right? So this particular hacker, the Indian, some people who ran a coaching center, by the way, they contacted this particular hacker. They brought him to India. They made him understand the technology that goes behind the examinations. They made him also understand how the servers operate. And what did they do? They sat here in India and started influencing the examinations. How did they do that? This is, by the way, now I'm reading out the report as came out in the newspaper and as told by the police of Delhi police rather. The gang took 8 to 10 lakh rupees from a candidate for JEE exams and 6 to 8 lakhs for a GMAT examination. They made money to the tune of 50 to 60 crores. So this particular gang collected about 60 crore rupees by collecting 8 to 10 lakh rupees from each student and then were influencing the examination. How did they do that? A team led by ACP Raman Lamba first contacted the hackers, posing as candidates, seeking to help clear the GMAT examination. They paid money and booked a slot. On the day of the examination, the accused sent a link to a software named Ultra Viewer. There was a software that was come to us, these students from the Russian hacker, to gain access to the laptop at the examination center. So they gained, through this particular software, they gained access to the laptop at the examination center. The laptop access was given to a solver. Once the access was taken, there was a solver, which means he or she is a faculty sitting on within India, and this access to the solver or the faculty went. So it went to an expert who knows how to solve the examination, right? Who helped the candidate by providing correct answers to the test. So once the access was taken, it went to a solver, and the solver started solving the questions on behalf of the candidate. Our police officer, who posed as a candidate, scored 780 marks out of 800 with the help of these people. You get the point. Here is a solver who's solving the questions on behalf of a candidate, and what does the policeman get? The police officer got a score of 780 on 800. There is possibly a topper for all that you know. And once they realized the gravity of the situation, because this police officer paid the money to these hackers, to these Indians who contacted a hacker, he sat for the examination and he got a rank. Once they found out, they started tracing the location. The location was traced to Mahim in Mumbai. There were 3 people who were arrested from there. Those 3 people, in further investigation, brought it down to someone in Pitampura who heads a coaching institution. And that man was arrested. And by the way, this particular coaching institution was setting up an exam lab so that they can become an exam center by themselves, because they realized that it's much easier to have your own exam center and compromise the whole thing than going through someone else to compromise the center. And these people, by the way, were also making software to get into the exams such as Forest Guard, Navy, etc. So if you have to leave it to these people, trust me, our armed forces might have people who have taken examinations as a compromise. And that is where I think the outrage is needed. That is where I think we need to stand up and defend the sanctity and the integrity of the examination, because this seems to have gone out of the hands. And by the way, I'll just read out one of the reports that has come to us, which was actually a Delhi High Court order. And what CBI said in the Delhi High Court. The above persons are stated to have connived with the supervisor of JEE Main 2024 Session 4 Exam Center at Sonipat and made necessary arrangement for fraudulent practices. So the first thing that happens is the center is compromised. Then a faculty is compromised. Then a solver is arranged. Then a remote access, if it's an online examination, is created. And all these four things together create a fraudulent rigging of the examination. As we speak now, there is a great possibility that 800 of these students are studying in different premier institutions of the country who possibly would have benefited from this thing, because NTA later did not come out and take action against, they did take action against 20 people who were found in a Sonipat center and banned them for 3 years, right? But the report here says that 820 students actually benefited from these Russian hackers, and we still don't have information of what exactly happened. In all possibility, they're studying in the premier institutions at the cost of someone who's actually deserving more. And when we realized the gravity of the charges, we pressed our investigative reporters. We said we need to get at the bottom of this whole thing. So we wanted to get to speak to an agent who actually will arrange this entire thing for us and understand how the entire process works. Now, by the time we got into it, as I said, the CBI order came in May 2022. Most of the examinations are over, but one big private examination was still on. And that examination had about 3.5-4 lakhs applicants for a very limited number of seats. So what we did was we contacted this particular agent and started getting into a conversation. And the more we heard the conversation, it shocked us. What do? They ensure that you as an applicant choose a center of their choice, a slot of their choice, and then they manage everything. In fact, in one of those things they say कि आपको सिर्फ बैठना है, हम पीछे से पूरा आंसर कर लेंगे. Right? So that's the kind of thing. Listen to this audio and you'll exactly understand how it operates.
उसमें पुलिस क्यों पकड़ेगी? उसमें मेरा खुद का सेंटर है, मेरा खुद का आदमी है. बच्ची आएगी, 3 घंटा का एग्जामिनेशन होता है, बैठेगी अपना, ठीक है, बैक एंड साइड से मदद करेंगे 3 घंटा में. हम ऐसा नहीं है कि 5 मिनट में ही कर देते हैं, हम 3 घंटा टाइमिंग लेके चलते हैं. क्योंकि फर्स्ट ड्यूटी बच्चा है आपको, उसके बाद सेकंड ड्यूटी में हम. इसमें भी मुझे पता है कि कुछ नहीं होना है, क्योंकि फर्स्ट सेशन में भी किया था, बल्क में किया था, अभी भी कर रहा हूँ. हाँ, उसमें कोई फनवर्ट नहीं है, ठीक है ना. हाँ जी, उनको ऐसा बात करो ना कि देखो उसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, बाकी मैं बल्क में किया हूँ, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. आपसे 1 पैसा एडवांस तो नहीं रहा, काम होने के बाद पैसे लेंगे, उसमें 1% रिस्क नहीं है. कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, जो रिस्क होगा वो मैं झेलूंगा, आप थोड़ी झेलोगे, उसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है.
ठीक है, मैं बात करती हूँ, देखती हूँ क्या बोलेंगे वे ना.
हाँ, बोल दो मैम कि बल्क में काम किए हैं, उसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, ठीक है ना. काम करके दे देंगे, आपका 3 घंटे का पेपर है, बच्चा जाएगा देख के आ जाएगा. उसमें हाँ, उसमें जितने भी लोग रहते हैं ना, अंदर बाहर लोग रहते हैं, हमारे लोग रहते हैं, ऐसे बोलिए ना उनको. ठीक है, ठीक है. एक और बात, अगर आपने स्लॉट बुक कर लिया फिर नहीं हो पाएगा.
नहीं अभी नहीं किया है.
हाँ, अभी नहीं करिए, ऐसे स्लॉट खुला हुआ है, ठीक है ना.
सेकंड वाले फेज में लिखवाएंगे तो हम लोग कुछ ट्राई कर सकते हैं.
तो तब क्या सेंटर लेना पड़ेगा? मतलब मैं हैदराबाद में ले सकती हूँ?
बताया होगा ना उसने.
इसलिए नहीं, उस लड़की ने कुछ नहीं बताया है, उसने बोला है सर से बात कर लीजिए.
मैम देखिए, उसमें 22-23 लाख तक का खर्च रहता है.
हाँ, वो तो आपको कब देना होता है वो मुझे दूसरा पता ना.
आपका काम होने के बाद में
मतलब पूरा एडमिशन हो जाएगा तब, या एग्जाम हो जाएगा?
मतलब ये मेरिट बेस्ड होता है ना, तो ये स्कोर आता है, रैंक आता है, उसके बाद आपको.
So remotely answering. So one is we are talking of paper leak, right? 2 is we are talking of some of these examinations being rigged through technology, through Russian hackers sitting somewhere else while you're sitting in front of your in your exam center and taking the examination. Someone is answering for you. But for that, the most important thing is you need to actually fix the center. You need to fix the slot. Right? Once you understand these 2 things, the JEE thing that I said, and then currently what I talked about private examination, I'll now come to the NEET. NEET may you actually have 3-4 cases that have come out, right? And it's very important for you to understand the 3-4 cases that have come out. The first case that came out was in Bihar. Here, about over 20 medical aspirants were brought into Patna in the evening and given question papers and answers in advance. On May 5th, the Patna police received tip-off about suspected paper leak about 2 to 3 hours before NEET, held from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. on that day. On May 5th, 7 to 8 persons, including Sikandar Yadavendu, one of the main conspirators, was detained. On the same day, the police also recovered some burned question papers from the flat of this private individual. And on May 6th, a total of 13 people, including 4 examinees and their parents, arrested and sent to judicial custody. You would also notice the thing that happened in Sonipat, right? Where are 8 candidates from the same center who got almost similar, they were toppers, right? So that part of it is very, very clear for all of you, right? And there you would notice that all those 8 people possibly are, they don't have a family name, they've not been claimed by any coaching institute as their student, though they were toppers. All these things are too many coincidences. That was Sonipat. So you actually have Bihar, then you have Sonipat. Then recently, in the Supreme Court, a group of students filed a case. Here they allude about a third example, right? And this is in Panchmahal in Godhra Taluka. So the third incident that came to light was Panchmahal in Godhra Taluka, Gujarat. And this, what I'm reading out, is from the Supreme Court petition that was filed by the students. It says, for example, in Panchmahal's Godhra Taluka, Gujarat, at least 16 students from distant states like Odisha, Jharkhand and Karnataka allegedly paid rupees 10 lakhs each to clear NEET and choose center at Gujarat. The first suspicion that happens here is that people from faraway places choose a particular center because, as I said earlier, it is a center that is compromised and all the people who are trying to crack an examination by unfair means get to that center. It can be possibly Sonipat, it can be possibly Bihar, it can be possibly now this particular center in Gujarat, right? And what is the center? It is Jai Jalaram School as their center, despite being from other states. These students came from Karnataka, Jharkhand, Odisha, but they choose a center in Godhra, which is far away, in a particular school called Jalaram School. The police informed the court that these 16 students, part of a group of 26, opted for this remote center and their names were found on lists recovered from the prime accused, Tushar Bhatt, a geography teacher at the school and a superintendent at the NEET center. So here you have a center called Jalaram School. You have a faculty called Tushar Bhatt. He is also a geography teacher in the school and he is also the superintendent of the NEET center. And all these 26 students were actually part of a group of people who choose this school, though they came from faraway places. So there are 2 ways the leak happens now. They first solicit students, they demand the money and collect post-dated checks. If it's a paper leak, the students are taken to a particular center and given the examination paper a few hours before the examination with a solver sitting there and trying to solve all questions for you. And if it's a remote, it's an examination which is conducted online, there is a remote, they access remotely your terminal and start responding. A solver starts answering your questions on your behalf. So you actually have a paper leak where for a few hours before that, you actually get the examination paper. And when you actually have an online examination, someone accesses your terminal and starts dealing with this whole thing. So what I'm saying is much bigger and much larger than what we all thought. There are proven cases of how access was given remotely for some people to answer the papers. You actually have proven cases where, the paper leak happened and people were taken to a particular hotel, given the, question paper, given the answers and asked to, look at that and then memorize that and come here. What are the immediate solutions that we have? See, there is very clear digression that you will have. You pick up a center where students not from the home state are actually choosing that center. It's a big red flag. It's a big red flag. Why would someone choose Godhra when they're sitting all over the place, all over the country? Why would students choose Sonipat when they're sitting all over the country, right? So the important thing here is that and by the way, there has to be some kind of verification. It can be a sample basis verification also, in which case algorithms can take over. And the algorithms will suggest that in this particular center, the home state of this candidate versus the center that was chosen is dramatically different. It's a big red flag and someone needs to investigate that. Similarly, the scores that you have in class 10th and 12th versus the actual NTA score. You today have a situation where the top ranker, one of the top rankers, has failed her class 12th examination and I'm told she got only just 2 marks. Right? So when you have those kind of situations, I think NTA should have responded much faster. NTA should have actually any statistician would be able to solve this for you. Any forensic audit will solve this for you. Any technical, audit would solve this for you, because in this modern age, digital footprints are left all over. You know which data has been interfered with. You don't know, you know which data has got some question marks to it because someone actually logged in and did something about it. You need to start dealing with those situations, otherwise you'll get into a problem. I just hope that we as a country at this point in time wake up, because if we don't wake up now and see such large scale rigging that is happening for the examinations, then everything that we've done to make the student prepare for an examination, to sit there for the examination and then to crack the examination, will be taken away by those people who can afford to pay some tout and get into the big aspirational college of yours. Thank you so much. I hope we as a country can wake up.